you. So you're telling me you have not.
Am I not black enough now? I'm not an African American. I'm an American. Okay, and I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Africa.
What's so funny? That wasn't a joke. That's what dumb liberals do when they hear something that flies over their head. Jesus Christ. They don't look that stupid. Hey, look here. Y'all didn't listen what the young man said. Do you That's know my boy, Joel Patrick. Do you know what it is to be African? Yeah. It just means your nationality, where you were born. Yeah. You could be white and be African. It just means you were born in Africa. But African is not a race. It's a nationality. You guys are Americans and you don't even realize it.
Yes. I'm picking on my two favorite white men once again as they take on a very good topic, which is about being called black or being called African American. And they start off with their ignorance right off the bat, right? To say to be called African is a nationality. Do you understand that nationality means nation? Africa, or to be African, means you come from the continent. It does not mean that you come from the nation of Africa. But this is the kind of dumb shit that these two believe.
You walk around calling yourself an African American. My question is this. Why do black people in America show such a strong allegiance for Africa? You wasn't born there. You're not African. Yeah. Right? Actually, your ancestors was bought there and sold to the white man. Yeah. By their own people. Yeah, Africans captured your ancestors and sold them to white people. Yeah, but y'all's got this such strong allegiance to a country you've never been. You don't even know the culture. You don't dress like Africans. You don't behave like Africans. You're not African. You're just a stupid American. Like now.
No, let's stop them here with their projection of stupidity. Because again, they're referring to this continent as a nation, and they have no clue or no idea that Africans would have sold African ancestors to Europeans. Again, there's no whitelandia, but again, see that this is the whitewashing or indoctrination of colonization that these two are under. This is what makes them white, is that they've totally bought into the indoctrination of white supremacy to where they believe that an entire continent is a nation. That they believe this made-up cultural concept of whiteness actually equals something other than the legality of white supremacy. And so I am an American of African descent, which is why I refer to myself as an African American. Now, I do come from black culture, right? Black culture, meaning that there are these concepts that are accepted among a group of people, a cultural group. And here within America, we refer to that group of African Americans, we refer to them as black people, right? But what they believe is that there's a black race and a white race. This is the colonization that they've been indoctrinated into. This is the issue that people have with so-called critical race theory, because to be critical of the fact that there is no such thing as race is only controversial to people who accept whiteness.
If you was born in Africa, right, and you came to the U.S. and became a U.S. citizen, you could call yourself African American, but you left that shithole for a reason. You came here because it provided you a better life, your family. So you call yourself an American. Yeah. You know what? Who came up with that stupid term, African American? You know why you walk around calling yourself that? Stupid white politicians. They want to make it feel like they empowering y'all. No, all they doing is trying to make you feel like you less American than everybody else. Yeah. Do you see white people walk around? I'm Irish American. I'm European American. You know why? Because they're just American. They're proud to be here. Yeah, like.
Again, do you know why you call white people white? It's because they wanted to control and enslave non-white people, right? Instead of labeling themselves European and whatever, they just call themselves white. But Irish do say Irish Americans. They do claim their Irish heritage. That's so stupid. But again, we're not talking about someone's nationhood. See, they show their self-hatred by calling the entire continent of Africa a shithole. They've never been there. They don't know anything about it. But for them, it's a shithole, even though they have no concept of what the fuck it is they're even talking about. But I'm sure there's all these white Americans who'll jump to their defense in my comments.
I'm American. I'm a black American. Yeah, right? I'm not African American. You want to play African? Go to Africa and play Africa for a while. Yeah. Those Africans are going to laugh at you. Look at this dumb nigga. I wish I could go back to America with him. I mean, come on. You're not African. You wasn't born in Africa. Yeah.
I mean, I really don't think I need to say anything else. Again, he has no idea of where the melanin comes from. He'd rather claim this color given to him by Europeans. Right? There's no black landia. Where was this whole black concept come from? Do you know why you call yourself black? Because of white people. Because of Europeans who felt they were superior and could just label people by color because they had no idea of what continents were. They had no concept that there were all these different continents. And so, like children, they labeled people based on color, when people all over the world labeled themselves based on the land that they were from.
You know what I'm saying? You're not African, you're an American. Won't you start acting like one? You're black, like many people in Africa are. But that don't make you African. I mean, did you learn anything from Elizabeth Warren?
American
but
or
you
Indian
know
American.
why most African Americans identify as African American? Because most of their heritage comes from Africa. So since they cannot identify what part of Africa they come from, they identify as African American as a whole.
Yeah. Man, you liberals are ridiculous. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You can identify as a woman. It doesn't make you a woman. You can identify as a man from China. Don't make you Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with their projection of ridiculousness. One, let's not take the word of children so literally and attack them as your grown-ass men, but let's break down the stupidity of these men, again, arguing against facts of what race actually is, which is a lie. There is no black race. There is no white race. When you go to Africa, you see a bunch of Africans. You don't see a bunch of black people. They're African people, people from the continent of Africa, not people from the nation of Africa, as these two moronic men keep insisting. This is why it's important for us to discuss something as critical as our shared history. If we continue to allow the white colonization that these two men have been indoctrinated to reign, we'll continue to have this divide. We won't see ourselves as this one world tribe. There's only one race, that's the human race. What makes us look different is the fact that we live on different parts of the world. Now, there is no white race, black race, yellow race, red race, blue race. So that's just the ridiculousness of white supremacy. And please know that these two men are not speaking to an audience of African Americans or black people. Like, they keep looking into the camera as if they're talking to melanated people when their audience is mainly European conservative Christians, white identity, whatever it is that you want to call it, but these are the people that they're cooning for. And yes, I said cooning because when you're pretending to be talking to African Americans, yet you're actually talking to European Americans and making fun of African Americans while being one yourself, yes, that makes you a coon.